Yo, alright, back with another one. And the weather does not look good. The weather was so much better this morning. But yeah, anyway, so that is gonna do 3 days in a row. Just because I'm trying this experiment. And at the moment it's working. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep it up for. But yeah, we're just gonna go with it. So, lovely intro as always. I have no idea how to do these intros, but it is what it is. So, alright, so this year, my goal is to be a bit more creative. And creativity is something I've struggled with in the past, just because I wasn't very good at art class. Like, I didn't really get my hands dirty with the paint or the clay or whatever we were using. I just wasn't very good. And drawing, I was not good at drawing. But I feel like now, this is being creative a bit, but I feel like now I can be more creative with video. I'm doing a little bit of graphic design, which is cool. I'm writing a lot more, which is actually quite creative. And I just enjoy it. Like, it's really good fun. I get to express myself however I want. And I feel like sharing that with the internet. I mean, look, people might resonate, people might not, but as long as it's helping, it might not even help anyone. But I feel like if I do express that creativity, then it could help someone, which is really, really cool. And even if it's just one person, that is what I want. I've just got my notes over there, so I'm trying to squint and see them. Oh yeah, that story's quite funny. Alright, I'll do that. Okay. So I remember going back to that, I was saying how bad I was at drawing. I was really bad. So one time in PE class, we meant to draw PE related stuff, sporty stuff like muscles or sport or whatever it is. I tried to draw a bicep, and I don't know how. I didn't. It was just so bad. It was quite funny. It made everyone laugh because, not on purpose, I was just so stupidly bad at drawing. It just made people laugh. Because I remember they were saying, "Oh, is it what is it? Is it a nerve? Is it a quadricep?" And I just said, "Oh yeah, let's go with that." Just because it was just so bad. It was a bit of embarrassment, but it is what it is. And I just don't think that form of creativity was for me. And I feel like with doing art, I didn't do it for that long. I didn't do it for GCSEs. I dropped it as soon as I could, basically. And I feel like it almost put me off creatively. So I chose subjects that were very logical. It was the likes of maths, the likes of digital media. I guess that had a creative element in actually. I did computer science at GCSE. What else? Just not very creative ones. That makes sense. I mean, there's not a lot of creative subjects at school anyway. But yeah, I feel like doing this video type stuff, some say it's not creative, but I feel like it is, just because I get to set up the camera in the right way. It's not very fancy, it's not very creative, but I feel like it is to a certain degree. And I first wanted to be more creative, I think, middle of December. That's when I first posted a YouTube video. And the first ever one actually got 300 views, it got 50 likes, it got me 40 subscribers, I think. And it was crazy considering that was my first ever video. And it was quite a long process to do. I felt very relieved when it was over, which was kind of weird because it's content wise, it's something that I've always wanted to do. So I felt surprised when I felt relieved when it was over. But I think that's just because it was a lengthy process. And I'm trying to figure out ways I can be creative but do it in short bursts, just because I do like the process of editing. Editing is quite fun, although editing, I don't really I'm not doing it for these videos that much. I just add subtitles and maybe do a hard cut every now and again. But anyway, the editing process was quite fun, but I felt like it dragged on for quite a while, especially with the second video. I think it was the 2024 video that I did. It was like, oh, I'm going to do so many things. Like, there was the first like 30 seconds of that video took me a whole week to edit. I was like, ugh. Like midway through, I was like, do I just give up and just sack it off and do something else? And just because by the end of the intro, you can sort of tell where I sort of gave up. Like those, I'll just link it in the description or something. I don't know. You might be able to find it anyway. Yeah, so fireworks. I was doing fireworks because obviously New Year's, it sort of makes sense. And I was doing like different fonts, different colors for each to so like come up on the screen. And by the end, I was just clicking random fonts just to make sure it was different, which I probably shouldn't have in the end. I probably should have just stick to like one or two. I'm just alternate and just change the colors. That probably would have been a bit better, but it is what it is. Lessons learned. That took way too long. But yeah. And then I kind of not stopped doing the long form. I kind of wanted to try do short form a bit with like the edited cool storytelling ones. And again, that took longer than I wanted it to. And I feel like I would get better just with video editing and all that kind of stuff. Like I am getting a bit better. Just like I just do it for fun. But again, I just felt like the process was taking a while. And creatively, like I wasn't quite executing what I had envisioned in my mind, which I think was a bit of a, not a problem, but it kind of pushed me back. And that, I'm talking like the last like 3 days I've done these videos, I'm saying it out loud, so many things that stop me is like so like mental hurdles that I need to come over. And I feel like failing fast is sort of a concept I'm really liking to, because it sort of forces me to post more. And I feel like I'm going to start that up again with the short form and do something slightly different. And I feel like that would be pretty good. I feel like that could still allow me to be creative, but do it. It's an interesting one because I feel like writing, that's more of the writing creativity, because I'd probably write a script and then I'd just say into the camera. Like the actual process of doing the video probably isn't that creative, but I feel like the more I do create something, like even if it is just a simple video of just me talking, I will just allow me to become more creative. And something that I am doing a lot more is the poetry, which is actually, I know, as weird as it may sound, a guy doing poetry, oh, there's like, it's good fun. I find it quite relaxing. Weirdly, it's something that I quite liked growing up. Like I always just found it interesting, always like reading it. I found some like old things on my Google Docs that were like poems of when I wrote when I was like 11. They were awfully bad, but I could understand what I was trying to capture in the moment. And that's kind of what I like about poetry. It's like you're capturing something in the moment. In a way, it's like photography, because you're capturing your emotion in the moment. With photography, you're capturing something in a moment. That could be emotion, that could be a event. I mean, that applies in poetry as well. And I feel like they're like photography and poetry, they're so similar, because that's what I want. I've kind of always wanted to do photography, but then I've like chickened out a bit, because I feel like it just captures something in a moment that is so, like, you can't repeat it, pretty much. Obviously you can in some scenarios, but I feel like it's hard to. And poetry, like expressing yourself in a certain way, it's just so like elegant. Like that's the only word that sort of comes to mind because it's just so it just flows so well. Like obviously with photography, there can be just such an amazing picture. It could be the best thing you've ever seen. But I feel like with poetry, if you write it in such an elegant way, in such a sort of concise way, but it just explains so much at the same time. That's kind of what I want to, like, I'm getting better at it. There are some that I've written that might not go on the internet, but I think are really, really, like, really good. But yeah, I feel like that's a creative avenue that I'm exploring a lot more as well. And that's like pretty simple to do because it doesn't take long because I'm just doing it so in the moment. I'm not editing it that much. I'm editing it a little bit, but then if I over edit, it's different to what the original idea was, and I don't want to do that. So it's just very raw. It's very just me. It's very almost shooting from the hip kind of thing. And yeah, I mentioned this, like I add video, I add a bit of music sometimes to it as well. And yeah, it can be like the themes are a bit about everything. And I feel like I don't want to limit myself creatively, but then again, I think Rick Rubin talks about in Creative Act that's it's up there. He talks about some form of restrictions can help your creativity, and I feel like that will help the short form aspect of things, like short form video that I want to try and do. Sort of confining it to like 1 minute. How much useful information can I deliver in 1 minute? Like, how can I help people or have some sort of positive impacts on them in just 1 minute? Because that's what I want to try and do with that. Like, talk about these sort of concepts, but like help people overcome them. I said like, I don't know how many times I've said that in this video. It's a constant theme. If any people have watched the last 3 videos, I say like and sort of quite a bit. But I feel, see, I don't want to use it now, although it makes sense in a sentence. I feel like I'm using it as a filler word. For example, I should just say that instead of like, for example, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'll just use, anyway. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? Not really. I just feel, I've done it again. I just feel like, that's fine. Yeah, graphic design I'm sort of playing with a little bit. Designed a website which I think is pretty cool. I'll leave that in the description as well. I might design some stuff. Might create a design course. Not create. Why would I create that? I might do a design course and sell it as my own and make lots of money. I'm joking. That would be scammy. Yeah, I think this is even shorter than yesterday. I don't know how long we've been rolling for, but I think exploring yourself creatively comes in many forms, and it's not what you experience in art class, because I experienced something very different during art class than I am to doing like video and poetry, that stuff now. It's very, very different. And the only way to sort of explore your different avenues of creativity is just doing it. Like, I'm just doing the video, just seeing where it takes me. I want to maybe do clothing design in the future, see where that takes me. I want to do so much, man. That's another video that I want to post, talking about how, like, so many things I want to do, but I only have a certain amount of time to do it. That'd be cool. But yeah, just see where it takes you, man, because there's no harm in exploring something new. You won't be great at the start, but if you find enjoyment in doing your creative pursuits, then go for it. Like, I'm not great at this, but I'm still doing it just because I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of just talking my thoughts out loud. I don't articulate them well all the time, but who cares? I don't really. If you care, my bad. But I just don't enjoy it. I just enjoy the process of channeling my stream of consciousness into the world. I don't know, it's a weird one. But I feel like if I didn't pursue this creatively, I'd always have regrets. That's another thing. If you in the audience want to do something creative, or if you just want to do anything, to be honest, it doesn't have to be creative. If you make up a reason in your head that stops you from doing it, you will have like some form of regret. You will regret it. For example, I mentioned I struggled with perfectionism when posting these videos. That's kind of why I only posted 2 long form videos. Was it 2 or 3? Whatever. That's why I only posted those 2, because I struggled with perfectionism. Like, the shots weren't perfect, the lighting wasn't great, the script was a little bit off. All these sorts of things that I thought would affect my creativity, which honestly it didn't. If anything, if it goes badly, like the shot's not good or the script is a bit whack, you can just free flow or just do a random shot, set up, that's what I wanted to say, set up your tripod wherever, or just have it in your phone and just spitball, just do whatever. And it's not, yeah, as I said, not just creatively. If you want to pursue a career, but you feel like your parents might not like it, obviously what they say is very important to you, but if you really, really, really want to do it, just try and give it a go. See where it takes you, see what happens. If you really, really, really want to, if you really want to be with someone, like in a relationship, or you just want to hang out with cool people, go for it. Even if they might not be the coolest people in the world, if you like them, great, do it, hang out with them. If you want to learn about something, like learning, people say it's a bit like nerdy, and it's interesting, man. Like, you can learn about some really cool stuff. And if you believe that people will think you're a nerd or you won't be smart enough to learn it, that's something that's holding you back. So let go of it. Absorb the uncertainty. Launch yourself into it and just see where it takes you for anything you want to do in life. If you really, 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 really want to do it, just do it. Even if you've got fears, even if you're worried you'll get judged, if you're just anything that's holding you back mentally, just go for it. Just go head first, see where it takes you. Whatever happens, happens. If it's not for you, that's fine. You've tried. You can say that you've tried. But if you haven't tried, but you still really want to do it, and then you never do it, you're going to always have that regret. And you don't know where that could have taken you. You could be the next director, you can be the next singer, you can be the next YouTuber, you can be the next whoever you want to be. You can leave a legacy even. But you won't know unless you do not try, or you don't commit to something. I think that's very important. That's something that I want to do. I want to commit to the act of creativity this year. And January is a bit meh, but now I'm sort of picking it up. I've got this microphone will help. I'm committing it to this year, and gonna see where it takes me. Yeah. Damn, I got deep there. Anyway, have an awesome day. You're a legend if you stuck around for the rest of the whole thing. I don't know if people, I don't know. If you're here, say coconut in the comments. I don't know, people might not do that, but anyway, it is what it is. It was good fun, good episode, whatever, video.